All right, folks, the old Nissan's been running really well, and today, out of the blue, I picked up a dead miss, and the check engine light came on, and here's what we have. We got the scan tool hooked up. So the engine's been running great. P0, once it gets focused there a little bit, P0306, cylinder 6, misfire detected. That's what I'm trying to say. And basically the other code is the same thing. So I'm not sure what happened. And on this Nissan, let me turn the key off here real quick and we'll pop the hood open. And today it just started now missing really bad. But I don't have any other issues with it. I did check a couple things here. When it was running earlier, when it was warm, I did check a lot of things here that concerned me. I thought, well, maybe something happened to the head gasket again, but everything else seems to be okay because, you know, I did replace both head gaskets on here. No moisture hardly at all in the cap. It's still burning out a little bit from that earlier head gasket that I changed, and no milkshake any oil. And the antifreeze and all that, it's in really good shape, and you can see the oil is in great shape on the dipstick. So I'm not sure what's happened. So what we're going to do tonight is try to figure this out real quick. I don't have my shroud on yet because I'm going to actually fix the bottom of that support. It's not that big of a deal. And you can see the coolant level here, right where it should be. So nothing there going on. So I'm not sure why we got a misfire. Now here's the thing. On this Nissan, number 6 cylinder is all the way back here in the back. I mean, there's hardly any room to get your hand in there. Follow these coils here, these spark plugs, wires. You can see everything on this side bank is easy to get to, but these two here are a little difficult to get to, especially that back one back there. So what we're going to do is start it up, and I'm going to pop off number 6 here, and I'm going to see if the misfire continues. I'm hoping it's a bad wire, but sometimes you just don't know. So that's what we're going to do is go ahead and start it up. All right, you can see it's running, so I'm going to take a chance here, maybe get this off. Here's number 6. Let's see what the spark looks like. Alright, so we're getting good spark. So I'm going to let this warm up a little bit. It's not missing too bad right now. It's got a little bit of a mist in it, but when it warms up, I really felt it really bad, so we'll let this warm up a little bit. Alright, now it's starting to mist a little bit. Now I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go back where the tailpipe is, and you can hear it kind of popping a little bit. It's dark in this garage, I know. I don't have a lot of room, but here is the exhaust pipe, and you can hear it. So we're getting a little bit of a miss. So once this really warms up to operating temperature, we'll check a couple things here. The thing I really want to do is a compression check. But I don't know if I can get my compression check gauge, which is right there. I'm not sure if I can even get it behind here because the way that wire and the plug goes back against that firewire is just so hard to get to. Alright, at this point it's come down to this. I did a compression check and we checked out some injectors, and the plenum, unfortunately, in order to get in here, and you Nissan owners know this on this 3.3, you have to take this plenum off in here to get the injectors and to actually do anything else that you need to do. But nevertheless, I was able to do the compression check with all that on. Found out the cylinders were fine. Kind of weird. The one was missing, number 6 back here in the back, had the highest compression, which is 140. This one here, I don't get at all. It's 115, but the miss was back here. Everything else, 130, 135, 130, and 130. But Now, I went to check the injectors, and I rarely have bad injectors on vehicles. Everything seems to be okay with injectors, but not this case. I had the old multimeter out here, and I was checking some things, and I got an old injector here, just checking it, just kind of verify that it was okay, that I was doing the right readings and everything. And I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not here, but I wanted to show you this injector here is about, 13.5 or something. Let's see here what we got. It looks like about 11.8. Now, I checked the injectors on here, and here is my results. The one in the far back, number 6, no reading whatsoever on that fuel injector. You imagine that? It ran for a while anyway. It runs when it's cold, but as soon as it warms up, it's missing in that cylinder, so there is my issue. We know the issue isn't compression, so this is how you sort of eliminate things here. So now I'm going to have to go get an injector. I'll probably just see if I can get 6 new injectors and just put 6 new ones in. Might as well just do them all, right? That's the right thing to do. So I found my miss, and I hope this may help you guys out. So if you have a problem like this, you got good compression, then start looking at electronic things. The thing is, the check engine light would start flashing, and I got the code for the P0306, I believe it was. And anytime you get a code like that, or a misfire, it's usually electrical related. 90% of the time, it's pretty easy to track down. So I just want to give you a little update here. But other than that, the Nissan is running great, except for that miss when it warms up. And I got it all cleaned out. And of course, the last video I think you saw there, I got the new headliner in it. So I guess I'll wait a few days. We'll get some new injectors. We'll put these in and see what happens. But there's another look at the compression check. And there is a look at the injectors. I'm not sure what specs the injectors were. I was trying to find out, but I couldn't find much information. But I believe it's going to be around 11 to 11.5 to 12 on the injector. So, all right, when the injectors come in, we'll continue here. We'll put these in and see if it takes care of the problem. All right, YouTubers, I'm back after a couple days, and I got my new injectors, and here they are. I got all 6 of these for, I think, about $58. Brand new ones. Got the seals pre-installed, which is great. And what we're going to do is go ahead and stick these on. These aren't too bad to do. I've got the plenum kind of sticking up there with the block of wood. Didn't really have to drain too much coolant. I got a little bit of coolant out of the radiator and a bucket down there, probably about a gallon or so, just enough to get it low enough down in the radiator here so it doesn't leak out if you have to unhook any hoses. And I had to actually unhook a couple of small hoses right here on the plenum, and this gives me enough room to kind of lift this up out of the way. So what we're going to do, by the way, I did check the voltage on these, and there's my amp meter and my settings, and you can see where I got it there, and these check out about what my good ones there did, which was about 11 something. I don't know if I can do this with one hand and hold the camera or not. We're going to see if we can do this. There we go. Well, we did. We had it there. Let's try this again. All right, there we go. And you can see the voltage is about 11.8, 0.7, and that's what it should be in spec. And like I said earlier in that video, before this clip, that far back one has no reading whatsoever, 0. So we'll go ahead and change these out here. Shouldn't be too hard to do. All I have to do is pop these caps off, these little Phillips screws, and pull those injectors right out and put these new ones in. I'm not going to show you how to do that. It's pretty boring, but we'll go ahead and get most of these in here. Come back here and check things out. Okay, well, this remedy here, or this quick solution, turned into be a fail. I cannot get that injector out. You can see part of it's broken off. It's actually in there pretty good. I'm going to have to take this fuel rail off, which is not too bad to do. But in order to do this, I'm just going to have to go ahead and disconnect the rest of this. I actually set up something like this to get in here because you can't get in there with a screwdriver to get these little screws out. And this worked okay, but I just cannot get this injector out. You can see it turns. It's moving, but it just won't come out. So I figure if it's going to be that difficult, I might as well just pull them all out, pull the rail out, and I can have better access to it and get some pliers on there and actually pull up on them. And if I damage it, I'm not worried about it because it's no good anyway. So on to the next step. So I guess we'll go ahead and pull this plenum off. It's not too bad to do. There's a couple hoses in the back there. I've got to kind of disconnect, and it should come right off in a couple of wires, and I'll have a lot more room here. And it looks like there's a couple of fuel lines here that disconnect real easy, and I can pull that whole fuel rail out, but that is not going to work. So okay, so here's the deal again. Well, we had to change that plan. I had planned to take all these injectors out and just take this plenum off, but the problem is now is I did get the back one out, which is great. I thought, oh, this is wonderful. I got it out. It took me a while to get those little bolts out because they do sometimes can break off and all that. And here is the ejector. Well, it was no good. You can see I kind of broke it. I actually got a screwdriver up under this. I kind of twisted it, and I got it out. And I got the new one in. Now, I was going to go ahead and say, oh, we'll go ahead and do all 6 of them. But the problem is now, I've got into the problem where the screws, as you can see right there, they have already stripped. So, having said that, since all these other injectors are working okay, the mist was in the back cylinder back there, I'm just going to go ahead and close it up and see if my mist is gone. So I'm going to have 5 extra fuel injectors left over for a Nissan. But hey, you know, you never know. So, you know, the attempt was there, and it didn't quite work out. But still may work out okay. So I'm not going to make the video too much longer here, but so what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and close everything up. We'll put it back together and start it up and see if our mist is gone, and we'll see if this fuel injector here takes care of the mist. So I don't know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Alright guys, we're back a day later, and I think we got her fixed. She's running pretty smooth. We don't have any more dead mist like we had earlier, so that injector did take care of it, although it's kind of weird how that other injector that was bad made it run for a while, but most of the time it had a dead mist. So you can see it's idling pretty good. We'll get back here to the exhaust pipe, and you can hear the exhaust pipe. It doesn't have that puff 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 sound. So it's idling just like it should. I can drop it down in gear, and I don't feel any hesitation or anything, any shaking of the engine like I did before. But make sure if you're working on these Xteras, there's a IAC valve under there. Make sure you get that wire, you get it clicked together, because when you're putting this on, sometimes you don't hear that click. And I actually had to take this back off and reconnect that wire because I had a code for a IAC solenoid. So just be aware of that. Make sure if you think it's together, if it didn't click, it's not, because those contacts are really close. But I had to pull this back off and all that. It didn't take very long, but you know, it's my mistake. But other than that, it sounds pretty good. I may go ahead and put another distributor on it, because I know Chevrolet, especially a lot of the old Trailblazers and so forth, they had problems with these shorting out and causing misses and everything else. I may go ahead and put another distributor on it, but it sounds pretty good. And before we wrap the video up in here and see, no check engine lights or anything, everything looks good. And you can see the headliner, she looks like brand new on the inside. Finally got her all cleaned up, although the camera is picking up that there. I don't know why it's doing that, but it doesn't look like. Oh, that's because of the light, the orange glow. But you can see the interior is nice and clean now. It's in really great shape. So it's gonna be a nice little Xtera. We'll drop it down in gear here while we're in here real quick. I think you can hear it running, and you can see it's pretty smooth. You know, there you can't probably tell it, but so that took care of the dead mist. At least you know how to change out those injectors. So I'm pretty happy there. So we'll drive it. I think I need to drive it now a little bit to get the carbon built out of the engine and clean it out. I may put some seafoam in it and drive it for a while. But it seems like the more it runs, the smoother the engine's actually getting now. So hope you like the video, guys. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and let me know where you're watching from. And until my next video, guys, I'll see you later.